Here it is. 5 lines. You probably can't even understand it. But this changed your life. To understand it, we need to take a trip back to the year 2008.
Stock market is now down 21%.
Because we're now down 43%.
What in the world is happening on Wall Street?
It was the worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
The world was in the middle of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression. Banks were collapsing and the governments were bailing them out with billions of taxpayer dollars. The trust in the financial system was at an all-time low. Amidst this chaos, an anonymous figure, or perhaps a group, under the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto, released a white paper titled Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. The idea was revolutionary. A decentralized, trustless currency that couldn't be controlled by the banks or government. But writing a white paper is one thing. To turn the white paper into a reality, Satoshi had to solve several key problems in computer science and cryptography. These include how to prevent double spending without a central authority, how to ensure consensus in a decentralized system, how to make transactions irreversible and secure, and how to fairly distribute new Bitcoin through mining. Satoshi decided to use a blockchain, an immutable, decentralized ledger where transactions are bundled into blocks and verified by a network of computers. To ensure performance, security, and flexibility, the code was written in C++. After nearly a year, Satoshi wrote and released Bitcoin version 0.1 in January 2009. The first ever Bitcoin transaction, the Genesis block, was hard-coded into the Bitcoin software. And that leads us back here. The code represents the first ever Bitcoin transaction and pretty much the birth of Bitcoin. Breaking down the code, these lines create a new Bitcoin transaction and initialize the input since every transaction has an input and output. These lines embed the famous hidden message in hexadecimal for the block's change storage. The message reads a headline from the Times newspaper. Satoshi probably included this message in the Genesis block for 2 reasons. To timestamp the block, to prove it wasn't pre-mined, and to make a statement about the failure of traditional banking. Once the Genesis block was mined, Satoshi's code allowed other computers to connect to the Bitcoin network, validate transactions, and start new mining blocks. And as they say, the rest is history. To this day, the true identity of Satoshi Nakamoto remains one of the greatest mysteries in history. Is he a single genius, a group of cryptographers, or something even bigger? No one knows. And as of February 2025, over 19 million bitcoins have been mined, closing in on the hard limit of 21 million set by Satoshi's original code. And the total value? A staggering $2 trillion. But the story of Bitcoin is far from over. Will it redefine money as we know it, or fade into history as another epic fail? Only time will tell. So that was an array of thoughts. Thanks for watching.